Hello, everyone. We're live right now. Welcome, welcome. I'm actually reaching out to our guests. You're welcome. I'd like to know where you're connecting from. Please put your name down and your city, your state, where you're connecting from. Thank you for connecting. And today we have a special guest with us. His name is Olayiwole. And before I bring him on board, I'd like to say what the show is all about. Congratulations on your journey to making a difference with me. I'm so excited you're getting on this journey. We can become that change agent we're all called to be. And on this show, Making a Difference with Sandra Ukoh, we do not only train, we teach, we mentor, we coach people on how they can become better versions of themselves in the areas of their finances, their business, their career, leadership skills, and relationship. Just to mention a few, we learn from other people's story and life experience so that we can leverage on their experience and their expertise of those who have gone ahead of us in order for us not to reinvent the wheel or fall into the same pitfalls they fell, in order for us to also get to our destination that has been designed and ordained by God for us. So we learn and we glean from such people. And today we have a special guest with us. And before I bring him on board, I'd like to say something about his bio. Odeyemi Olayiwole is a certified leadership coach, management consultant, DISC trainer, and economist by training. He has 23 years of experience in building human capital in nonprofit, faith, military, healthcare, media, private and public sectors. He speaks and trains regularly for organizations nationally and internationally. He serves as the CEO of the Inspired to Lead, a leadership training and consulting organization. He also serves as a leadership team member of African Leadership Council, Washington, D.C., Impact 54, Scotland, International Council of Friends, Chicago, USA, Ark of Destiny Ministries, International, Nigerian Citadel Global Ventures, United States of America, Global Leadership Summit, Just Center. And he's also the president of Advisory Council of Maxwell Leadership Certified Team Member USA. He's one of the 22 top 10 winners, wow, of the Maxwell Leadership Culture Award. He has a passion to help people become the best versions of themselves as they commit to a life of personal development. He's married and blessed with 3 beautiful daughters. Awesome. And the next person you'll see will be Odeyemi Olayiwole. We're so glad to have you, sir. Awesome. You're welcome.
Thank you, Sandra. Thank you for having me
Thank
on.
you.
I deeply appreciate this invitation and well done with the great work you are doing, changing lives and indeed making a difference.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Thank you for also honoring our invitation on the short notice. And I know that your schedule is pretty tight. To get you here is something. And before I go into, asking you the questions, but I always like my guests to speak on their own. Tell us what you're doing, how you're making a difference in your world. I just read your bio. Some people might just think, oh, she just read up his bio. Let him state himself. What is he doing? We like to hear from the horse's mouth, sir.
Okay, first of all, I noticed you said I'm a member of the President's Advisory Council, PAC. I'm not the president of it.
Oh, yeah, I knew.
You promoted me.
Oh, good.
Well, what am I doing? I'm changing my world. Now, when I say I'm changing my world, I'm first of all committed to becoming a better person every day, so I can help people become better because I realize I can't give what I don't have.
Sure.
So I'm on a journey of daily improvement so that wherever I find myself, I can help people become better. Just like what your show stands for, helping people to become a better version of themselves. So I'm on a journey of continuous growth and development.
Yeah. It's a marathon race. You don't get to finish it.
That's
It
right.
is limitless, no ending
That's
until when God calls you home.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great to have you, sir.
Thank you.
I want to find out what informed you on this journey. What did you study in college? Because I found that a lot of youth these days, there are many ways they make money online. And so when they get out of school, they don't want to even go further again. They don't want to go to college. So what informed you in going to college? What informed you now? What are you doing presently? Are you pursuing what you read in college now? Is that what is bringing food to your table, or you're
Yeah.
doing something else?
Fantastic question. Let me start by saying that education is one of the best gifts that anybody can be giving, because it sets you on a trajectory of
Success.
self-discovery,
Yeah,
for a life of success. So
yeah.
if there's any regrets I have, before I tell you what chose me studying, what is not even studying more. I remember after I finished my first degree, I studied economics. I remember sitting down with my father and him giving me options of, he had studied me and noticed what my strengths were. And he made recommendations of what he believes I would be able to study. And so
Mm.
eventually I chose to study economics. I have no regrets because it gave me a broad view of life, of business, and of people, because anybody who knows anything about economics is quite broad, and it gives you an in-depth, a holistic view on how to make the life of people better, in the economy and in life in general. So that was what I studied, and I wish I had gone back to do my second degree immediately, because immediately I finished that, I got admission to do my MBA. This was in 1998, and somehow I got distracted, and I didn't, follow up with that. I left that before having to go back and pick up the pieces and the rest. And something even happened today. Let me tell you, Sandra, so interesting. Somebody met me and said, I have a business deal for you. And they were asking for whether I had done a particular course and the rest. And I said, wow, I'm working on it right now, but I'm not yet done. So, wow, you have to finish that first before you can get this opportunity. So a lot of people don't know what they are missing because of not investing in improving themselves, whether it's formally or informally. So,
Mm.
but both of my parents are educationists, so maybe that also informed me having that desire to go that way. But I want to keep improving myself. I'm going back to school um, again and again and again and again. I never stop learning, and till I die,
Learning, yeah. He
I'll
said
constantly be
repetition
in
is
an
the key to
environment.
learning.
That's
And when
right.
we learn, we are learning same thing, almost the same thing in the different ways. It's
Hmm.
for emphasis. He
Yeah,
makes us better, and we know for sure what we are called to. And then you discover purpose.
that's
Because
right.
whilst learning, you
Hmm.
find out what you love to do and how easy. Awesome. What you just said to me really resonated with me.
Mm.
Your father studying you to know what you're good in. I
Yeah.
think this is for parents.
Mm.
We need to know what our kids are called out to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes they cannot discover themselves. They
Hmm.
get into what you call identity crisis. They want to become this, they want to become that person. They
Yeah.
see people on TV, they want to become that popular, not finding out what they are called to do.
Hmm.
As parents, we are going to be accountable. We're accountable for these kids. So we must study them, find out what their strengths are to be able to guide them aright. Like your father guided you, all right.
Hmm.
He knew what your strengths were, and he was able to guide you into studying economics. Meaning, if your daddy was not that detailed, your daddy probably would have left you to choose whatever. Maybe you'd have chosen music or something else that was, probably maybe you wouldn't
Yeah.
be happy
Yeah.
you were doing it. And
Yeah.
preparedness. I tell people, learning is never ending.
Hmm.
As long as you breathe in
Mm.
air, you would ever continue to learn. Because like me, when I finished school, the first thing I did was do a master's.
Mm.
Then I went to serve. As I got my LAWI, I quickly
Mm.
went to buy a master's form in Unilag.
Mm.
I did an MSc biochemistry. And
Mm.
whilst I finished that, and because I was doing a marketing, I was working as a marketer, my boss called me and said, "Why don't you go for an MBA?" I
Mm.
said, "Well, I don't have money." What they were paying me was quite, small.
Mm.
I
Mhm.
had done a master's with all my savings. So this time around, let me save some good money. And
Mm.
they suggested that we're going to pay 50% of my school fee
Wow.
for me to go. And they allowed me to do full time.
Wow.
So in less than 18 months, I was done with MBA Unilag. That's because they gave me an opportunity
Mm.
to learn. And that also opened several roads for me, so many gates in the future. Because I went somewhere for an interview and I said, why do you think you'll be a very good marketer, or why do you think you'll be a success in selling? And I told them, I said, but you read biochemistry, but they said one thing that delivered or saved you was because of the MBA you have. That was why they gave me the job offer. So I could have lost that offer. So it comes with preparedness. Let's be prepared. Let's get learning. Let's, diversify. Preparedness, improving yourself daily. Because you never know when opportunity will come. Just like Olayiwole just said. Wale just said. There was a particular thing, if he had done it long before, that contract would have been given to him almost immediately.
Yeah.
Now the company is selling him, go get done before you come on.
Yeah.
So please, let's get prepared.
Yeah.
Let's learn all we can learn. The human brain is so versatile. So many things we can learn. And that's why sometimes I use David in the Bible. David was a drummer boy. David was a shepherd. David was a priest. David was, a singer. David was everything. And he was so skillful in all of the crafts he found himself. So that's to tell you that the human brain and the human mind is so diversified. We can do several things if we are focused and if it is well planned.
Yeah.
You can study. So I want to find out, are you still pursuing economics? Is that what is bringing food on your table? Or you found your passion along the path whilst doing your master's or whilst working? Can you tell us more of that?
Well, the thing about economics is that you never let it go. I mean, it's something that is in your day.
It's similar to accounting.
Exactly. Even though right now I am a certified leadership coach, so I run a leadership training organization, and that is what I do. I'm now in the leadership space, but my training as an economist also comes into play in everything I do everywhere. So I wouldn't say it has let it go. But I am not working as an economist, even though the knowledge and the experience I acquired is still very useful in the work I do as a leadership consultant and management consultant also.
That would give you, that's a plus for you.
Yes.
Because there's some things you'll be able to do better than somebody who never has an economy exposure or an accounting exposure. So I often tell people, I say, whatever knowledge you gather can never be stolen or taken away from you.
That's right.
It's in you forever. It's indelible. Yeah. It's forever. And it's a gift that, is a skill that no one can take from you. You live with. And as long as you continue to work, it cuts you out to stand out.
Yeah.
Sometimes we want leadership personnel, but somebody who has an economist's exposure or an accounting, that will cause you to just, get that job on a platter of gold because you had already, prepared yourself. You've exposed yourself to learning. Thank you very much, sir, for that. And I also want to find out, that's a great one, using what you learned so many years ago. You're still using it and it's still making you to stand out. Have you been able to manage your business with your family? I like people to understand that, sometimes we need to correct. Let's take a break. I need to correct some sound around me. So whilst I'm coming, just a second.
Have you got a copy of this book, Can Anything Hold You Back? Subtitle, Making a Difference? You need to go get it now. We are called not to fit into the pattern of the world, but to stand out. These can only be achieved by being self-aware. This book is available now on Amazon.com and Jumaya.com as an ebook as well as a print book. It is also available for purchase on www.sandraukoh.com.
Thank you. Yeah. Had some noise at the background. I wanted to correct the noise.
Okay.
So the last question was relationship sake. Have you been able to manage
Yes.
a relationship with your business and with your friends too? You made a relationship with the family and outside your family.
Well, very good question. I say, I believe that relationships are the ships, that take us from
So our
where we are.
destiny.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, um, I'm glad my daughters love what I do and are very interested in it. So sometimes one of my daughters followed me for an event outside my city very recently for a training I went to conduct, because the people I was going to train, they were medical doctors and she wants to be a doctor. So she followed me and she had that experience. She was the one who was even taking the pictures and answering when people were asking for my phone number and the rest. She was the one, and I was attending to other people. She was dealing with them. So I'm trying my best to carry them along. Sometimes work gets in the way and I can't be present with them, and I know that hurts them. So I'm trying to improve and balance and not allow work to interrupt family. But the good thing is that they love what I do. So um, we talk about it, they give their ideas and the rest. My friends are very involved. My friends are some of my best cheerleaders in my business, in what I do.
Yeah.
So I'm blessed with wonderful friends who believe in me and believe in what I'm doing, and patronize my training business too. So that's good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. That's what happened to me too.
Yeah.
My daughter sometimes is the one that edits my video. She puts the
Mm.
stand, put the lights, and tell me, mommy, you're not saying this is the way, you need to correct it. This is the way YouTuber says it. And I'm like, oh my God, how did you
Lucky
get to
you.
know this?
Lucky you.
No,
Yeah.
sincerely, that's why in a way, we need to carry our family along in the things
That's
we
right.
do. You
That's right.
understand? Thank you.
Yeah.
You need to carry our family along in the thing we do. Teach them, because sometimes they might, when you are not there, they can
Hmm.
stand in for you or help you
That's right.
run the business.
Yeah.
Help you run the business.
Hmm.
So a lot of times we need to show them what they need to do and also make them understand this is what we do.
Yeah.
And whilst doing it, one or two of them will find passion in what you do and also support you and help you, run the thing. So some of my graphics too, they help me to do it.
Wow.
Or
Fantastic.
I tell them, please help me correct. I have a PowerPoint presentation. Please help me correct it, read it to show that there are no errors. Help me
Mm.
format and they do it. Maybe because I have so much I'm doing, my hands are full. So a lot of times it's good will, and sometimes you like Olayiwole has been blessed with so good friends, but where you don't have good friends to cheer you on, be your number one cheerleader.
Hmm.
Cheer yourself. No one
Hmm.
can cheer
Hmm.
you more than you cheer yourself. So learn to be your cheerleader.
Hmm.
Sometimes people are against you; they don't want you even to rise, and that's why they list these three factors that makes you who you are. The
Hmm.
books you read, the
Hmm.
people you hang around with, and the
Hmm.
environment you grow. So if you
Hmm.
hang around friends who would pull you down and not help you get into that relationship, because as Olayiwole said, he said relationship will keep. They are the ships will ride on to destiny, to where God wants us to be. So if
Hmm.
you have a right friend, you will be on the great ship sailing to where God has prepared for you. But
Yeah.
if you have the wrong friend, you might sink or never get to where God wants you to get to.
Very
So
true.
find out what relationship you're keeping that is
Hmm.
not moving you in line to what God has called you to be. And find out what environment you are that is toxic to you, to
Yeah.
your growth. If
Hmm.
you are in a toxic environment, it's a garbage in, garbage out. You don't give
Hmm.
what you don't have. So
True.
you need the right environment. And what resources are you feeding your heart on? What are you
Hmm.
feeding your heart on? So find out. Are you watching African Magic or whatever? I don't know. Are you watching things that are so threatening, things
Hmm.
that are not, impacting on you positively? You need to check all these. There must be a balance in all we
Hmm.
do. It is said what you give attention to grows.
Yeah.
So if you give attention to things that are good, it will grow in you. But if you
Hmm.
give attention to things that are negative, derogatory, they will grow and they will bring you down. It's
Hmm.
only a matter of time. And that's why I tell people, I said, life was never planned or never promised to be smooth all the way. You would sometimes have orders on the way, but whilst having those orders, they are actually meant to bring the best in you. Sometimes it's a training ground for you because there are other people coming behind you that God wants you to mentor or coach. So
Hmm.
if you don't go through those pain, how will you be able to teach the others going through those pains? So sometimes we go through those things not because God is a wicked father. He just wants to teach us something. There is something he wants us to learn. He wants a ground where we can mature and get to that level that, we've gotten past that stage. And that's why in school, you don't get promoted if you don't pass a particular level. You do an exam. An exam is seen as a test for you to get to the next level. So if when you see challenges, oh, this is a test for me. Once I pass it, I'm going to the next level. It will be so easy for you to embrace challenges when they come, seeing them as this too will pass away. This is only but for a moment. It has not come to stay forever. You will pass through it. Thank you so much for that information. Having great family members, having great friends to help you, and having cheerleaders, people to cheer you. That's a great one. When you have low moments, have you managed? Because one of the reasons I'm asking these questions is a lot of times people have low moments and allow those things to affect them. Rather, I see low moments as a time for you to learn and to get skilled up. And I see very little every time you make successes. What do you do? Do you just put it, oh, it's not enough to celebrate? What do you do when you have low moments and when you have great moments when you need to celebrate? What do you do?
Fantastic question. But let me start by saying this, that it doesn't matter who you are. Everybody will be confronted with disappointment, discouragement, depression, distractions. It's all part of the journey.
Yeah.
When I began pursuing this dream of what I'm doing today, I was confronted with that, and it looked as if it wasn't going to come to pass. There was a lot of delay, disappointment, discouragement, distractions. I call them the 6 Ds of pursuing your dream, and
Yeah.
every dream will be confronted with them. But it goes back to the last question you asked. I have been blessed to be surrounded with a support system of family and friends, and my faith in God also. So those 3 things are my anchor. When I go through these storms, my faith in God, my family, and my friends, have been my anchor in those low moments that I go through. And it doesn't matter, between every mountain there will be a valley.
Yeah, sure.
So even when we have those big wins, sometimes you have a big loss. But one thing I'm learning is that if you maintain the right attitude, a loss can eventually turn to a win. I experienced that right now. I'm not home. I'm on a trip far away, and there were some setbacks. Things didn't go according to plan, but I just managed to maintain the right attitude, and I've seen it
Sure.
evolve into a win. Now, on the
Sure.
second question, how to handle wins. I always learn to return it back to the one who is behind the wins, which is God. I don't share his
Sure.
glory. You
Yeah.
know? So I handle my wins with a lot of gratitude. Gratitude to God, gratitude to the people that he used. So that helps me to stay humble and not allow it to get to my head. I do celebrate, but I celebrate by giving gratitude to him and also celebrating the people that he has used, and so that's how I handle those things.
Awesome. 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 You spoke about low moments, you spoke about high moments.
Yeah.
And that's true because life was never promised. There will be others on the way. What you do. And sometimes it does happen. You need to be calm at such situations. You need to be quiet. Look inward. What is God trying to tell you? What is it in it that you are called to learn when you're in those low moments? A lot of times someone will keep quiet and just work and I want to learn from those incidents. God, things begin to unravel. Your loss you think was a loss or your pain becomes a gain. And what you think is a scar becomes a great story that people want to learn from you, which of course you must sometimes go through those things so that you learn, like my John Maxwell rightly said. He said success is not a destination, and never allow success to get into your head, because success will make you proud. And you know what prideful people do? And it says God resists to the proud. And it says what failure does to you, failure keeps you humble because it takes you back to the training and the learning curve. You want to go and learn what made me fail. Why did I not make a success? Why did I have a setback in this business? Failure will always make you go back to the drawing board. A lot of times you'll find that when people are successful, pride sets in. And the next thing that happens to them is a deep plunge. They fail.
Yeah.
And that's why I've seen it a lot of times, even when our African footballers play, when they play, go for soccer. Once they win the first time, if you're not careful, the next one is a fail because they just feel they did it right. But when they fail the first time, they go back to their drawing board to see what makes us or what made me fail this assignment. So I want to encourage you a lot of times, and that's why he said you must always keep failure and success together. He said, for they will keep you resilient.
Yeah.
Because when you fail, you will go back again to learn why you failed in order for you to be able to become successful. And success, putting both together, will keep you humble. That was what he said. Because failure keeps you humble because you're like, oh my God, I failed this. There's no pride in failure.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pride in success if you don't manage it well.
Yeah.
So he says it is often good. Keep both together, for they will keep you resilient. You keep going. Like you rightly said, your successes, you must learn to give gratitude. You must learn to give gratitude. You must learn to give gratitude. You understand? I had a call, so I didn't want that to distract me. You must learn to give gratitude. And first and foremost, like he rightly said, you must first of all give glory to who glory is due. That means God. You must first of all say, God, thank you. Because without him, that would not have happened. Is anything we have that was not first given to us? Everything we have was given to us by someone. So we must learn to go back and say, thank you for that. And for everybody God has planted in our path to success, in our journey to becoming the best versions of ourselves, we need to learn to go back to say thank you. A man that is, they said, show me a man who is grateful. I will show you how a man who is successful, because your gratitude determines your altitude in life, the level you will go to. Because the moment you learn how to say thank you, those friends you think who connected you and who you've gone back to say thank you, they will always often connect you to higher levels. They will often connect you to men and women who would lift you, who would, and it is said, referrals are better than any other thing. Mouth-to-mouth referral. Somebody saying, oh, is he Odeyemi Olayiwole? I know him very well. He's a good speaker. He's a good coach. That is enough to sell for you.
Yeah.
So that's why I said referrals are great platforms for you to move higher. You want to deal with everyone. Like he rightly said, you must see value in yourself for you to be able to add value to yourself. If you don't value yourself, you will not add value to yourself. And if you don't add value to yourself, you will not be able to add value to others around you. And with John Maxwell's team, I belong to that group and he belongs to that team. We are a people of value, valuing other people. We see value in ourselves. That's why we're adding a lot of value to ourselves. We're in the path and in the journey of personal growth. Everyone you see is on that journey. It's a never-ending journey. It is limitless, never coming to an end. As long as you're living, you are learning. You're on that journey to becoming a better version of yourself. I have not arrived. I'm still in the process. Olayiwole too is not arrived. He's still in the process. We are learning every day. And so that's why I said we are on a journey to learning. We must see value in others. My slogan is, everyone who comes across my path, I want to leave them better than I met them. I want to leave a memory that will make them want to look for me or call me. And so that's it. And I've seen that happen oftentimes with the people I meet. This is not a statement of pride. It's a statement of, being an impact to your world, making a difference. And that's why this show is all about. We have not come here to show skills, to show how we have arrived, or we are successes in a different field. Yes, we are on that journey, but we are here to also teach and also mentor and show the people that life can be turbulent, but there is still much more better and greater testimony along that journey. Go through your journey. Open yourself up to learning all you've been called to learn. Be ready to go through your pains, knowing that pain brings about gain, knowing your test brings about testimony. We share our stories so that others can learn. They do not need to reinvent the wheel. What I learned from Olayiwole today, I do not need to fall into that same pitfall. Like he said, he had a loss, but he was calm, and his loss turned to a win. Life is all win-win. Where you lose, you will gain in others. Let's stay focused. I would also like to ask you a question. What would be a word you want to say to the audience? Some people might be joining us later. Some might not even watch this show to the end, what one word would you say to the people I'm speaking to, our audience, that you will say, this is a word you want to live with them, as they go through this journey, one word they should run with?
Make impact everywhere you find yourself. Be unforgettable. So for me, everywhere, if I'm there for 5 minutes, I just want to touch a life positively. Just touch a life, impact a life, and leave that life better.
Sure, that's awesome. I think I just remember one of John Maxwell's story. He said before he leaves his room, he does like meditate and say, God, who is that one person you want me to touch today? And he said, when he comes back at the end of all the struggles of the day, he comes back to himself. Have I touched somebody today? He said, make that a lifestyle, make that an intentional plan. Go out with a plan to touch somebody. Then God will always bring somebody your path that you will touch. I want to thank you for honoring the invitation. I want to thank you, our audience, first for staying put. One of the reasons we come to this show is because we have audiences we're speaking to. I'm sure if there are nobody we're talking to, I'm sure we'll not be here together today. Because I want to thank you, audience. Thank you for staying put. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for believing in the show. And that's why you're always coming to watch us. And also, I want to let you know, if this is your first time of joining the show, please kindly like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this. If this has been of any impact to you, share with your friend, share with your loved ones. The other time I showed my book intro, I just wanted to use that as a means to, not to just be quiet there. It's a book that we can become our best version. Can anything hold you back from becoming your best version? Can anything stop you from being who God has called you to be? Nothing. It's always in ourselves. We are the number one. If you can get rid of that self and become that same person and become a humble person and be that person that God has called, we can become the best versions of ourselves. So I want to say thank you for staying put. I also want to thank our speaker today. Thank you for honoring our invitation. Thank you for those great testimony, your beautiful daughters that are often there to assist you, your cheerleaders, your friends. I want to say thank you so much. Just send our love to them. And please be open when we call you again for this kind of discussion. And also refer us, your friends who have gotten a great testimony, great story to tell, so that we can be a people of blessing, a people of value, adding value to our world. And let's all go out today, this week, to be a people of difference. Let's make a difference in our world so we can have a better world. Thank you so much and have a blessed evening.
Thank
Bye.
you, Sandra. Bye.
Bye.
Have you got a copy of this book, Can Anything Hold You Back? Subtitle, Making a Difference? You need to go get it now. We are called not to fit into the pattern of the world, but to stand out. These can only be achieved by being self-aware. This book is available now on Amazon.com and Jumaya.com as an ebook as well as a print book. It is also available for purchase on www.sandraukoh.com.